great morning. It's great to be here on this Insight once again on Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrfence Umoette. It's almost here. The D-Day, that is. 4 days to go. 4 days for the employers to hire a new president and 469 members of the National Assembly. There is heightened apprehension in the air. For young Nigerians, that's those that just turned 18 years recently, it's an opportunity to partake in the electoral process. For the political parties, it's time to fulfill electoral dreams. For the umpire, the electoral umpire, it's time to put up a seamless and maybe credible election. We're still doing a recap of the electoral season ahead of the election on Insights. Our focus today is on the African Action Congress. And my guest, predictably, is Omoyele Sowore, presidential candidate, Africa Action Congress. Welcome to Insights show.
Thank you very much, and good morning to you and your crew there, and listeners across the Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay, you can be part of this program by joining us on our live stream, if you may, on YouTube. Is just type in Insight on Citizen FM 93.7. You can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. And don't forget, you can also follow us on our social media platforms, 3 of them on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. And that's how the program is going to be. It's a packed one. We have 30 minutes for Omoyele Sowore to just do a sort of recap of several months of campaigning, several months of interventions on a lot of issues ahead of the election. It looked as if it was never going to come, but here it is, 4 days before election. So we get straight into the program. Let's just get this out of the way. Omoyele Sowore, 12 governorship candidates of your party alleged to have, in quote, disowned you as their party presidential campaign. What's your immediate reactions to that before we move to other things?
No, there is no such thing. We've addressed this conclusively at the party's level. This is in election circles. This is the cash out week, meaning that people who want to sell themselves will claim that they have some supporters. You see people claiming they have millions of supporters, and they go and collect money. And unfortunately, they invite the media, and the media never scrutinize anyone. The person who was said to be saying this is the former governorship candidate of the AAC in Akwa Ibom, who was expelled in January. And when he was speaking to the media, he admitted that he's been expelled. So how do you accept the position of a person who's been expelled from a party as the official position of anyone at all? So, but this is the week where everybody does what they like, hoping that they can catch some attention. The 15 minutes of fame, and I guess it got their own, but it's nothing like that.
Okay, let's move on. The Naira swap the controversy is still on. Protests in some part of the country. What do you think will be the consequence of this, especially when it has to do with voter turnout on Saturday?
I think it was deliberately done to achieve that goal of demobilizing voters, because I think the ruling party understands too well, and there are co-travelers in PDP and other parties who are politically exposed to the anger of the public at this time, that maybe there's going to be a tsunami of voters out there who will go out and use their permanent voters cards to punish these parties. So part of the strategies I think they designed was to demobilize voters and discourage them from going out to vote by starving them of funds and fuel. And I guarantee you that this has discourage a lot of people from voting. And the less people they have at these voting units or polling units, as we call them, the more have the capacity to buy voters and also to suppress legitimate votes. And I'm afraid that they've achieved this particular objective at this point. But we keep calling on our people to stand up to them using whatever power they have at this time to ensure that there's no continuation of this very criminal gang up conspiracy against the people of Nigeria. And that's what you've seen. And you see that they have also cunningly been criticizing themselves. The APC is now divided into two, and the section of the APC has become a freedom fighting unit, claiming that they are opposed to a policy that they were all part of, because they know that people are genuinely angry and would punish their party, ensure that they don't come near power now or ever.
Okay, if you're just joining us, it's still Insight on Citizen FM 93.7, and my guest is presidential candidate of the Africa Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, and we are doing a sort of a recap of everything that has been happening in the last couple of months when the campaign was officially flagged off in the last days of September up till now, and it's 4 days to the election. Just sort of a wrap up. So you can make that call, since it's a 30-minute slot, so that if there are questions for Omoyele Sowore, now is the time to call. The number is 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205, or you can call us on 0808 2222037. Any of those numbers. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of those numbers, and we will be glad to read from you. Just let us know where you are writing in from. So now let's look at the issue of security, because from the last question, yesterday the Chief of Defense Staff, the IG, and virtually everyone that has anything to do with the election have reassured Nigerians that this election will go on despite the apprehension in town. You are a stakeholder, you are a major player, and I'm sure you also have some kind of reports from your members across the field. Do you think that the assurances so far are anything to hold on to?
No, the security agencies are overwhelmed. Unlike any election in the history of Nigeria, this is an election in which the security agencies are going into elections to protect a Nigeria that has lost territory to a lot of armed groups. And I've analyzed this several times, that at this time in the Northeast, we still haven't recovered land from Boko Haram. In the Northwest, bandits have taken over a lot of states. In the North Central, there's part of Boko Haram, this issue of herdsmen crisis, and the South, you have still a good number of militants controlling territory in the Niger Delta region, and the Southwest is about the only part that you can say, well, there's still territory, but there's a lot of angst over the agitation for nationhood. It's a place that you and I know you can't even erect a Nigerian flag, let alone sing a national anthem. So we're going into election with all these territories firmly under control of non-state actors. And in addition, you now have people who are angry because of this very terrible monetary policy that have denied people access to their own money. It's Nigeria right now. You have to buy money. You have to buy your own money with money before you can buy whatever money can buy. It's very shameful. So, and then you don't have, fuel to power the logistics that will push this election to. So the security agencies themselves at this point, I don't know where they're going to get fuel. I don't know where they're going to get enough manpower or money to pay even these policemen that are supposed to be on duty who might require cash even to buy water. So it's very clear that if they say they're in control and they're ready, they're just playing mental games on the Nigerian people.
Okay, in the next 24 hours, there's likely to be another meeting of the Peace Committee with you and other presidential candidates. That would be the third, if I'm correct, in the series. It does look.
It's supposed to be the last. It's supposed to be the third and the last. Yes.
It does look as if the last two yielded very little in terms of what it was expected to be.
Well, we keep speaking to the fact that some of these things are cosmetic and symbolic. There's no provision in Nigerian constitution for their Nigerian constitution now. Whatever it is, laws that are governing the election, there's no provision in them that the peace committee must get people to sign a peace agreement. But as I stated last time when I was in there with these leaders, it's an irony that so many of them are people who are responsible for breaching peace in the country, either directly or indirectly. And some of the members of the peace committee were the people who made it impossible for free and fair election to hold in 1993. I mean, it held, but they cancelled the election. So somehow it's part of the contradictions of living within Nigerian society. But it's not. It has no binding power on anybody. People can sign the peace agreement and go and kill somebody or kill somebody before they come to the peace agreement. The National Peace Committee doesn't have any power to do anything if there's breach of peace. It's the security agencies that have the power to do that. So, but this, we're holding fair elections, and we want people to hold hands. So whatever it is that they achieve. So we don't take it so serious that we think it's a one-size-fits-all solution to election violence. Definitely not.
Okay, as we attempt to round off, let's look at the voters, the electorate, your party. I know that, yes, INEC has a role to play in terms of voter education and other government agencies, but I also know that political parties also have this role. But your party, how much of voter education have you done in the last 6 months or thereabouts?
Oh man, we have done a lot. We've moved all over the country and had what we call people assemblies. I think I'm one of the candidates that must have done the highest number of events, meeting with professionals. I'm not saying campaigns now. I don't believe in those jamborees they call campaigns, and I've attended to a lot of media interviews, lots and lots of them, and people listen, and have a very robust and vibrant presence on social media where young people exist, young and old actually. So we've done a lot, and we've done enough at this point to be convinced that the choice before Nigerians are very clear between good and bad.
Okay, it's 4 days to election. Are you really good to go?
We are good to go as long as those who are in charge of elections are ready to go. But we are going into the election, sadly, without the same kind of enthusiasm we should have because of the agonizing Naira redesign policy to which our people have been subjected, which is to say that we are going into this election with the arms of a lot of electorates tied behind their backs, and that's just not a good way to conduct elections.
So in a minute or two, why should Nigerians prefer you to 17 other candidates?
Well, let's do the maths first. I don't think there are up to 17 other candidates left. I think a lot of them have collapsed in their structures into.
They are still on the ballot.
Other parties. Well, I'm just saying, if you are voting for somebody who already told you to vote for another candidate, you're wasting your vote. It doesn't make sense. So let's narrow it to maybe about 5, 6, and when you think about that, you just subtract those who have been in power before, most of them for 8 years and did nothing. You have an opportunity for an alternative or a set of alternatives that can restart or kickstart a brand new country. And that's where I come in. Someone who has maintained his integrity for 30 years, maintained consistency.
And we hope that your message
I have to single you guys out as one of the groups that continuously give me a platform to speak to the issues that affects Nigerians. Thank you so much for that as well.
Thank you so much, Umoette. Well, that's the end of part 1 of this program. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll get another guest and another political party. I'll unveil the party and the guest when we return after this break. Insight will continue. Please don't go away.